any subject, if we have to understand the subject in depth, or we have to know the nitty-gritty of that subject, so the first thing that requires is to know and understand the history of that course, the history of that subject. And the history, in the process of knowing history, in fact we are trying to discuss how the subject or how that particular discipline has evolved over a period of time. Okay, and remember, my friends, history is very important. You might be thinking that you being a student of BTech, why you need to know the history. History is very important because history will give you the context in which you have to think, and the context in which you have to study the development of a particular subject. And once you understand the context, in which context that subject has been developed, then only you will be able to develop sophisticated technology for that, or you will be able to develop uh, or you will be able to write codes for that. So this is very important. History is very important. So the history of fintech, it starts or it dates back to 1838 when Samuel Morse, the name you must have heard, like whenever we read about this telegraph or telegram, so it's a Morse code. It is known as the Morse code. So Samuel Morse have written certain code, and which actually resulted into electronic telegraph system for the first time. So it was 1838. Now remember, 1838 is the year. 1857 is the year of Sepoy Mutiny in India. So 19 years before that, this telegram was invented. And when this telegram was invented, certain codes were there. And with this code, the messages used to be sent from one place to another using those some electronic codes, and it has revolutionized the entire scenario, entire world of sending messages. This is the first development in the history of uh, sending electronic messages. Not here, the finance was not involved, only electronic messages were there, and with that message, something related to financial transaction could also have been sent, or something related to your personal messages could also have been sent. So this was the first thing. Then in 1950, so 1838 to 1950, sorry, it's 1866, the first transatlantic cable was successfully laid, providing infrastructure for financial globalization. So this telegraph was without cable in 1838, and from 1838 to almost 28 years down the line, this first cable was successfully laid. And with this cable, some certain messages were sent, like it is nowadays cable is also used for sending messages, or whether it's images or sound. So this was the first cable used, and this is called, that's the in laying down the infrastructure for financial globalization. Then 1967, not 1967, then it is 1950. February 1950, the Diners Club issued the first general purpose credit card invented by Franklin McNamara. So now, this 1950, remember the date when this first credit card was used, and it was used by the Diners Club. So this credit card, that prior to that, it was that you need to have cash, or you need to have money in your bank account or with you, then only you can buy something. And this Diners Club, what they did, they have issued some credit cards that if you want to purchase something, if you want to enjoy the services of Diners Club, then you need not to have money. Just use this card and pay later on. So this has one of the biggest evolution in the history of fintech. But remember, this is also only some developments in the era of finance was there. 1950 issue of the credit card. It was only finance. Technology was not involved per se at this time also. Then 1967, Barclays in Enfield becomes home to the world's first cash machine. Now here is the entry of technology in finance. So the ATM, which is very popular, and every here and there we used to find this ATM machines, or we used to have this ATM card. Debit cards are also known as the ATM card. So we have this. So in 1967, Barclays was the first company which has installed ATM machines, and Barclay Bank was launched. This we can say that somehow there is a blending of technology in finance, because in ATM machine was the first case where this technology was mixed in finance. 1892, William Porter created Trade Plus, which kick-started the online brokerage investment revolution and quickly started driving down the cost of online trading. The company was reorganized as E-Trade Group in 1994. So this online trading, first it was started in 1892. 2009 version 0.1 of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin, which is now very popular, each one of you must have heard. So it was started in 2009. 1971 Nasdaq. Nasdaq is like in India we have Bombay Stock Exchange and it is the Sensex. So in Nasdaq is one stock exchange. So National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations, Nasdaq. It is in New York. So they have also invented electronic trading of securities and the IPO, that is initial public offer, giving growth companies the opportunity to raise capital from the public market. 1991 Michael Bloomberg. Now Bloomberg is one very popular database which deals with the finance database or the financial database. So Michael Bloomberg was the person who invented this database. So he created innovative market solutions to provide real-time market data. So Bloomberg is also doing that if you want to have some research, if you want to do some research, so the best way to acquire data or to avail data is to go to the Bloomberg, and to buy the Bloomberg services you can have this data. So the financial calculations and other financial analytics to Wall Street firms, the company was renamed Bloomberg LP in 1986. LP means Limited Liability Partnership. 2013 Google introduced Google Wallet. Now Google Pay, which is very popular. So now Google Pay do not have Google Wallet, but in Google in 2013 they have introduced Google Wallet, which allowed users to make purchases from their mobile phones using NFC technology. Apple similarly launched Apple Pay in 2014. So this is how, since 1838 to 2013, this is how this entire financial technology has emerged. Starting from, and the first milestone in this field or in this respect was the development of that the Morse code or the telegraph, and from there we came to this place at this stage right now. So if we just see the value creation across the entire value chain, like if you want to start some business, so first thing is that we need to have the access to the capital, then ultimately this will be offloaded into the stock market, then there will be trade in the securities, then post-trade services will be there. And when there will be trade and post-trade services, then definitely there will be a lot of data. So the data analytics and information related services will be there. All these things will be there at the different places of the value chain. So first thing is that if a company wants to start a business, definitely it will raise capital. Now, prior to fintech or prior to the era of internet, only way to acquire capital is that you need to go to the bank, have some capital, and then you can start business. Or you can approach your friends, you can approach your relatives, or even if you are going for initial public offer, public issue of shares, then also you have to just issue it, and you have to give an advertisement in the newspapers, magazines, then physical application forms were there which has to be filled up, and this is how the capital was acquired. Now, with the advent of technology, this crowdfunding platforms are there, startup exchanges are there, bond issuance platforms are there, Private listing platforms for SMEs are there. Initial coin offering platforms like Bitcoin. So there is initial coin offering platforms are there. So only thing is that just with the use of this technology, the mobile application, there are several mobile applications, and using that mobile application, you can acquire capital. You can raise capital for a business. You can raise capital through crowdfunding, and you can start your business. So this is one thing, that access to the capital should be is there. And how this technology have made this entire process easier for the businessman, that and so that they can have capital, they can have control over the capital, they can have a capital so that they can do business. So this is access to the capital, and how this fintech is helping them. Next is the trade execution. Trade execution means once the shares is issued to the general public, then it is listed in some of the stock exchanges. Suppose I bought some shares, now I want to sell it. So I cannot go and tell the company that you take this money back, I want my money back. I told you take this shares, I want my money back. I cannot do that. Are you getting the point? That suppose Reliance have issued shares, I purchase those shares, and tomorrow suppose I may be in need of money, so I cannot go and ask Reliance that these are the shares that you have issued to me for say for rupees 1 lakh. Now you take back your shares and give my money back. I cannot say that. In case of bank fixed deposit, it is possible that today I have deposited rupees 1 lakh in bank, and tomorrow I may go to the bank and I ask that okay, you take back your certificate, a fixed deposit certificate. I want my 1 lakh back because I am in need of money. But in case of company shares, this is not possible. So if I am in need of money, tomorrow I need some money, then what kind of remedies are available in front of me? So only thing that I can do is that I will go to the stock exchange where the shares are listed, and I will find some buyer who is interested in buying the similar kind of shares. So I have shares of Reliance, so I will be definitely going to Bombay Stock Exchange. They through certain established mechanism, directly I cannot go to the Bombay Stock Exchange. Some mechanism is there. There only, if someone wants to buy shares, he or she will also go to the Bombay Stock Exchange. So a stock exchange is a place where this buyer and sellers, both of them, they met, and ultimately this trade is executed. So this trade execution is also now with the help of technology. Now, while illustrating, I told that I will be going to the Bombay Stock Exchange, and the person who is also interested in buying the same securities, he or she will also be coming to the Bombay Stock Exchange, and there we will meet. Now here, this meeting is not physical. I will be going to the Bombay Stock Exchange means I will be going to the terminal of Bombay Stock Exchange through electronic technology, through online mode. On this screen, this all the shares will be shown, it will be visible, and I can just put my request that I want to buy this number of shares, and I can also put my request that I want to sell this number of shares, and through technology these trades are matched, and ultimately this trade happens. So this fintech is also helping in creating the value chain or in trade execution, that is the decentralized trading marketplace, online auction based market, and cryptocurrency exchange. Once the trade is executed, the next is the post trade services, distributed ledger technology based clearing and settlement, surveillance and analytics software, automated trade restructuring, regulatory compliance solutions, asset management, liability, KYC compliance, all these things. Like KYC is there, your ledger has to be maintained. Ledger means it's a book where all your accounts, all the transactions related to one person will be recorded in one book. So suppose I am continuously buying some shares from Bombay Stock at Bombay Stock Exchange, and I am selling it. So my ledger will be maintained by one broker who will be my broker. Suppose just to name like Motilal Oswal or Karvi Consultancy or India Bulls, they are the brokers. And if I will be buying shares and debentures from the stock exchange, so directly I cannot go to the Bombay Stock Exchange. I will have to register myself under this any like Motilal Oswal or Stock Holding Corporation or Karvi Consultant or India Bulsa. There are a lot many such Anand Rathi. There are a lot many such kind of broking firms. So they will be maintaining my ledger, and that ledger will be fully technology driven. ठीक है? All these trades will be reconstructed, everything will be maintained automatically, email will be sent automatically whenever there will be any change in my ledger means my account. I will be given one alert on my mobile or my email. KYC compliance, like know your customer, so all these things will be through the technology only. So first raising of capital, once the capital is raised, then trade execution, once the trade is done, then the post trade services will be there, and finally the data analytics and information services. So because all this process, access to the capital, trade execution and post trade services, they will generate millions and billions of data. So this data, it needs to be analyzed, and manually it is not possible to analyze those data. So definitely we will need technology, some computers. So this algorithmic and quant trading solutions. In the last class I told you that I can write a program, or you can write a program and just install it in your computer and just link it with the Bombay Stock Exchange website, that whenever there will be the share prices will come below a particular level, they will be automatically bought in your account, and when it will be share prices go beyond a certain level, then it will be sold out, and ultimately in the process you can make some profit. So that is algorithmic trading. Artificial intelligence powered financial predictions, that is based on this past behavior of the data, past behavior of the security prices. You can just predict what will be the security price tomorrow. Real-time market data platforms, non-traditional data aggregation and analytic platforms. So these are the use where the fintech is used in case of finance. There are some key drivers of fintech benefit. First thing is that, as it is very clearly written, that fintech is a complex ecosystem. Here some infrastructural players will be there, some institutes will be there, some technology companies will be there, some startups will be there, which will be ultimately disrupting the flow of information or the flow of doing business in the economy. Okay, so at first place there will be some financial institutions. Now who are those financial institutions? It's not that only after the introduction of fintech these financial institutions have emerged. Financial institutions were there since long back, or you can say since this human civilization exists, some kind of financial institutions were there. Okay, like bank is a financial institution, insurance companies are financial institutions, NBFCs, non-banking financial companies like Tata Motor Finance, Ashok Leyland Finance, Sahara India, these are the NBFC financial companies. Some development banks were there, some mutual fund companies were there. All these are different financial institutions, and these financial institutions were working. This I am talking about the A. And these financial institutions were there even when there was no internet, even though there was no computer. So the work used to be done manually. Okay, so what happened when these financial institutions are there, and then come some technology companies. Now initially when I talk about this technology company, then primarily these are the computer or IT related companies. So this technology companies came, and the work which was done manually since many years, now the same work were started to be done using computers. That is digitalization of the entire work. So this tech companies, they have mechanized or digitalized, first mechanized and then digitalized the entire process, entire work of these financial institutions. So prior to 2004 2003, most of the banks, they were doing the banking job, but the records used to be maintained manually. Now after 2002 to 3 4, was a revolution that all the work will be done by computers. So computerization, they have accelerated the speed of doing work, and then the errors were reduced, and not only errors, and speed, but accuracy of the work, efficiency of the job, and effectiveness of the job, that has also improved because of the involvement of the technology company with the financial institutions. So a bank which earlier used to do, say, on an average, say 1000 number of transactions per day, now with the involvement of computers, they have started doing more number of transactions per day. So this is the first stage, that only technology was there. And then infrastructure players entered, the third. The first one is the financial institutions, then technology companies. Now this technology company were there, they were just providing the logistics and the necessary computers, but they were not actually integrated. Okay, so if someone wants to avail the services of bank in a particular branch in Rohtak, he or she have to go to a particular branch in Rohtak only, then only this computerized branch can help him or her. Okay, now some infrastructural players entered, that is basically this internet companies, telecom companies, and this there is a revolution of internet, telecommunication, and over a period it has been seen that all the bank branches, all the financial institutions, all the insurance companies, they were actually networked because of this infrastructural players. Now A, B and C, financial institutions were there, technology companies were there, and infrastructural players were there, that is that basically the cellular companies. Now this, the new generation company, that is startups, they started entering. Technology was there, infrastructure is there, and financial institutions were there, but these financial institutions were not within the reach of the normal people, common man.
Continue. Just hold on, please. Just a second.
अब उसमें कुछ किया नहीं मैंने,
तो बहुत
ठीक,
वही आपने जो सर बोला था उसी में कम्युनिकेट करना ना, इंडियन जनरल ऑफ बैंकिंग एंड
फाइनेंस एंड बैंकिंग,
फाइनेंस एंड बैंक, ठीक, ओके, थैंक यू.
And now when the necessary ecosystem was generated with the new industrial policy, because of this new breed of technocrats entering into the market, and with this necessary ecosystem was generated, and then a time came that a lot of startups started happening. Just a minute.
यही पता हो जाए,
कोई उसका नहीं, मतलब वो ऐसे बोला था.
अरे हाँ ऐसे ही करेक्ट, इससे सही सैटिस्फैक्शन ही बढ़ेगा ना सर उससे. देखिए कुछ पेपर दे दीजिए,
अभी को खत्म कर दो.
ठीक ठीक ठीक.
So this startup, sorry for the interruption. So this new startup, the young minds, innovative minds, they started entering, and here this, with this young and innovative minds entering into the market or entering into the scene, that is the D, the startups, they started harnessing or leveraging the momentum already generated because of the interplay of A, B and C, and this is how the new fintech company they started to come into the picture. So a lot of fintech companies, like whether it is a Google Pay or Phone Pay or Paytm or Credit B or Bajaj Finance, so all these are actually the examples of some these innovative startups entering into the market. And in the meantime, when I talk about this necessary ecosystem, then regulator and government was there. So far as these financial institutions were there, for the financial institutions there was a regulation, like a bank is regulated by RBI, insurance company is regulated by IRDA, and the government also used to have very strict control over these financial institutions. And so far as these technology companies are there, so they are emerging technologies and tools. So these emerging technologies and tools were there, but they are not within the control of the government. Then there are investors and incubators and accelerators. These startups were there. So there were some incubators, some accelerators, And for this, there are investors available to invest in those startups. Consumers and users are there. So this is how this necessary ecosystem was created in the for the fintech, and these are actually the key drivers of fintech. And now, where traditional financial institutions have failed, fintechs are succeeding. This is how the 61% believe that over the next 5 years, digital is the new normal for customers. And see, remember, uh, where traditional financial institutions have failed. Now, this fintech, for example, this say a very small example, payment bank of say Paytm. What happened?